Hello, my name is Kent Westrick, and I will be doing a book report on Who Moved My Cheese, An Amazing Way to Deal with Change in Work and in Your Life by Dr. Spencer Johnson. Alright, so let's get started with the characters of the story. The characters in the story are Scurry, Sniff, Hem, and Haw. Scurry and Sniff are two mice that live in a maze, and Hem and Haw are two little people that live in the maze. The difference between the two types of individuals is that Scurry and Sniff are mice, and Hem and Haw are little people who are just like regular human beings, very complex brains. They're very smart, but they oftentimes can confuse themselves. Next, the setting of the story. The setting is in the maze as well as the cheese stations. The maze is a metaphor for where you can find your goals and your ambitions and what you strive to succeed for in life, as well as your daily needs like food and everything like that. And then the cheese stations are where there's abundant supply of cheese. They're not very common, they're kind of rare, but they are important in the book. So the cheese stations is where you can settle down in the book. Next, cheese. Cheese is a metaphor. Cheese is a metaphor for many things, like I just stated. It is what the character or individual strives for. So, in the book, it is what keeps the little people, Hem and Haw, going. It is like their money, it's their social status, their goals, their adventures, everything that they love. And in the story, they stumble upon a big supply of cheese, and they become comfortable, and they rely on this cheese until one day it's not there, and Hem continues to be stubborn and stays there. Haw decides to leave to go back into the maze to find new sources of happiness, which is his cheese. Everyone's cheese is different. Each character has a different type of cheese. The two mice was mostly just so that they could survive, while Hem and Haw had similar ideas for cheese, which was goals and ambitions and livelihood and all of that good stuff. But the difference between Hem and Haw was that Haw didn't think everything should have been given to him and nothing should have been taken, nothing should have changed. Change is what he began to realize was a good thing in his life. Change and his cheese is what made his life interesting. Haw's writing on the wall. So Haw decided to go back out into the maze, and Haw had a reason, and he was scared. He was becoming weak. He didn't have any cheese. He was sitting there. He was stagnant in cheese station C, where him and Haw were at. So he made these writings on the wall to encourage himself to stay positive, so he wasn't scared. He was facing his fears. And he also did it for Hem. He did it for Hem in case Hem ever built up the courage to come out into the maze and find his own cheese. The first writing on the wall, change happens. They keep moving the cheese. This is the realization where Hem, he realized that the cheese is not coming back to cheese station C. He has to get up and stop doing the same thing, because the same thing is clearly not working for him. In this situation, for me as the reader, I kind of thought as a so what, now what kind of situation. He saw, so what, this happened, now what do I do from here? He decided to go back out into the maze. He was afraid when he went out into the maze, but he learned that being afraid is what he could be positive. He could be positive and like to be afraid because he didn't know what was next. The second writing on the wall: anticipate change. Get ready for the cheese to move. This is when Hem is realizing that change really does occur, and you have to understand that it happens for a reason, and that you got to be ready. You can't just sit stagnant in your home and expect for the same results just to come back to you just because you want it to. Also, there was a very interesting part of the book where it said that if you do not change your ideas, you will not be able to change your actions. So I saw this as a very big motivational part for me in the book, and I enjoyed that as well, so I thought I should include that there. The third writing on the wall: monitor change, smell the cheese often so you know when it is getting old. So for me, what I interpreted from this is that Ha was going through a self-assessment. He really needed to notice and stay on his toes about when change is going to occur, when he needs to leave from the current situation that he's in. Like I said, current life situations, he needed to realize that he needed to leave. And then check to make sure you are not lost. You know, a lot of times people sit there stagnant and they think they're still doing okay when they could be doing much better if they just did a little change. Fourth writing on the wall: adapt to change quickly. The quicker you let go of the old cheese, the sooner you can enjoy the new cheese. Let go of a present situation, a toxic situation. This goes for many people in our world, in our society. If there is a certain situation you just feel like you're stuck in, let go, find something new. Don't be scared. Enjoy the adventure of trying to find something new. Chase your cheese. Chase your goal. Chase your dreams. Enjoy the journey while you have the opportunity to. Make sure you're always coming up with new goals and trying to find new cheese. That's what I got from the fourth writing on the wall from Ha. The fifth writing on the wall: change. Move with the cheese. Change with success. If you see success moving or an option to succeed, move with it. Don't be afraid to change just because you're comfortable. Just keep going. And then change to find the cheese. Sometimes you are in an environment where it is stagnant and you need to be, or you are tired of being stagnant and you need to be successful. Change something, change your ideas to find your cheese, find your goals. The sixth and final writing on the wall: enjoy change. Savor the adventure and enjoy the taste of new cheese. Do not be set on the final outcome. So a lot of people focus on the destination rather than the journey. That's what I have here. While they need to be enjoying the adventure, the lessons that they've learned on the way, too many people focus on the end goal rather than what you can learn and harness in the journey. Thank you, and that was all.